Everyone who has millions started from zero, from this to that, from nothing to everything. As a divine healer, let me show you the blueprint to heal your deepest wounds, step into your destiny, and become the happiest person you know. My name is Steph Mahony, and welcome to your $1 Million Life podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to your $1 Million Life podcast. My name is Steph Mahony, your host for today. I'm a divine channel, healer, and the founder of your $1 Million Life, a life that has nothing to do with money and everything to do with feeling like $1 million. It is the beauty that shines from within you when you're healed, transformed, and step into your higher purpose. Your $1 Million Life is your best life, and this podcast is a roadmap of how to get you there. In today's episode, we're going to be activating your highest potential by pivoting you into divine alignment to your true authentic self. The reason that this is important is because it is the direct connection to everlasting happiness. So many of us live on the sidelines of life where we're struggling to get by, living somebody else's dream for us. Perhaps we don't even have a dream, but we know that we're meant to do something more. And yet we continue to live in this place of the comfort zone because it's more familiar and safe rather than rising higher into the place outside of your comfort zone, into the place of the unknown. The unknown is the place of all possibilities. This is the place that pivots us into divine alignment. But our ego, our inner self, our inner child gets so scared of anything that's unfamiliar. Even though we're not happy where we are, we choose through free will to stay. And my hope and intention today is that I'm going to help you reveal your true authentic self, to show you the reason why it's hard to get into alignment and why this is the first place for all of your dreams to finally come true. I mentioned last week that I want to teach you about quantum jumping timelines into the highest timeline of your destiny. But before you can even do that, you need to know who you are and where you're going. And before you even do that, you need to know who you are on the inside, because God can't bless who you pretend to be. God can only bless who you authentically, genuinely are. So when we can learn to take off the mask that we're wearing and showing the world, that's when we are going to be blessed into our path. And I'll share you a story about how this came to be for me. So about 4 years ago is when I had a spiritual awakening. I was in this place of, working my 9-to-5 job, being a busy mother, doing the things. I had no idea what was going on, but I kept seeing a higher vision. I kept seeing this vision of me standing on stage. I kept feeling like something wanted to connect with me. I didn't understand what this was. And when it was revealed to me that I am actually channeling information, I am clairvoyant and seeing into the future, I couldn't believe it, because I'm a Catholic girl and this does not happen to Catholic girls. So I had to go through this place of transformation, of really understanding these genuine divine gifts of who I inherently was, that I was a divine channel, and that my purpose of mediumship was to connect with the higher realms of light through ascended masters. And those are the masters, human beings who've come before us, who have mastered their purpose in their lifetimes, neutralized their karma, and overcame the wheel of karma, ascending into a higher realm, and also angels. So my purpose in this world is to connect with these beings, to show humanity a higher place. We are all struggling so much here. And although we did choose to come into the world of polarity, What's happening is that through free will, we're suffering a lot more than we should be because we're stuck in this wheel of karma. It's an everlasting circle that keeps chasing us because we don't even know it's there. We don't know how to stop it. We don't know how to rise above it. And my purpose is to show us the pathway of how. So this is going to be a conversation that I'm going to be discussing in teaching presentations going forward on this channel. But today, the most important thing to do is no matter who you are, where you came from, how you got started, you have chosen to come from the absolute world into the world of separation, Mother Earth, for a very specific reason. You have gifts, talents, you have a purpose that only you can fulfill. Without fulfilling this, you would leave a cosmic void in this quantum universe. All of us have these gifts and they look different for everybody. And many times, the people in your world, you'll see that it's like this puzzle where my gifts are your deficiencies and your gifts are my deficiencies. And somehow we create this bridge where we help each other. That's the point of all of this, where we come back from separation, from oneness, back into unity. And when we come with these gifts, we'll always know what they are because it is our highest thought, our highest happiness, our highest sense of peace. When we're doing something that's not in alignment to who we truly are, for example, living somebody else's dream for us, being in a relationship, you know that that's not right for you, taking on a family business that you know that is not right for you because you wish to take on another career, by moving into a country because you feel forced to make somebody else happy. Whenever we're out of alignment and we're not speaking our highest truth, we're suppressing this information from the world, from the universe. And that is always a sign that you're out of alignment. Alignment means that you're following what you've charted to do. And if you're in alignment, you feel happiness, peace, joy, this inner joy where your inner smile shines brighter than your outer smile, that you have this pep in your step and you're living your best life. Anytime that you're not at the highest form of happiness, it means that you're off alignment somewhere in your life, that you're suffering in a place. And it's our free will of how long we suffer. When you can awaken that you actually have a power to change things, then that's the moment that you're able to pivot in a new direction and get back into alignment of where you want to go. Sometimes this requires us to face hard truths, for us to have hard conversations, for us to drastically change our life, to perhaps move to a different city, to quit a job that we know is not right for us, to leave a relationship that's abusive and keeping us small and stuck. Sometimes these relationships, these situations are going to happen. It's like the towers falling in your life, because if you don't make these choices yourself, the universe eventually will make it for you, where your whole world will seem to crumble. And what you need to know is that if that ever happens, it means that the universe loves you so much and it's trying to pivot you back into divine alignment of who you truly are and what you have charted to do in this world. The tower only falls on things that are not authentic in your life. Perhaps you experience only conditional love. Meanwhile, you're meant to receive unconditional love somewhere else. Maybe people are using you. Maybe you're in a job that is causing you to be morally unethical. There's a lot of situations where the tower will fall on our life. And whenever that happens, it will shift us into a new reality, a new timeline, where it seems that the whole world is spinning out of control. But what's actually doing it is steering us back into the direction of where we need to go. So When that happens, it feels very scary, but you need to know that you cannot lose what's meant for you, and God will always bless what's left. So if the tower does fall on your life and you feel like you've lost everything and you're starting from zero, that just means that what you've lost was not meant for you. There is a mourning process that we do have to get over, because even though our soul understands, our human being is still wounded. But when we can pivot into this mindset that if it's happened in my reality, that means that there's a lesson to it. If it's happened in my reality, that means that there's something that the universe is trying to bring me to. This is what happens when we don't listen. But if we do listen and we are feeling the nudge to make changes, what that will feel like is that an inner desire is going to grow somewhere else. That the thing that you used to do or be able to put up with is starting to diminish, and you're going to feel a higher fire light up somewhere else. And that is going to feel exciting, and it's going to feel magnetizing. It's going to feel drawn to it. And that is where you're meant to go. It's actually your North Star, your inner compass, which only points north, and it's trying to lead you back into this place of who you truly are, to get back into alignment of your highest life. So whenever you feel this inner fire spark within you, and you can see and sense that it's moving into a new direction, instead of not facing it, instead of avoiding it or suppressing this, what I'm asking all of us today is to lean into it, to see what this is. The only reason that's stopping us from moving into it so quickly is because of fear. Fear is the thing that's stopping us from getting from where we are to where we need to go. Fear is the place of darkness that terrifies all of us, which rather stands us still in this place of happiness instead of moving forward to who we truly are and where we're meant to go. So in this place of stepping into alignment, fear is the breaker of what we need to heal. It's part of our ego that will never let go, and that's because it's part of us. So instead of trying to eliminate fear from our life, from our mind, what we do instead is aim to heal it. The reason why we feel this fear is because there's something in our subconscious that had previously been attacked at one point in this area. So it's an open wound that we need to heal. What do I mean? Many of us, when we're trying to get authentic to who we truly are, by hearing our voice, learning to speak our truth, and live our truth, we have this fear of persecution, of judgment, of rejection. We are so scared of having our own opinion and identity that we'd rather stay quiet and conform rather than speak out and take a stand on what it is that you have a desire to do. Many years ago, like, this place of desire and speaking out would be this rebellious spirit. But what it really is a person who's awakened and like, I'm actually not happy in this circumstance. I'm not happy with the way things are going. So I'm making a choice to make changes in my life. And this is what I'm going to do to get there. And this is the place that scares a lot of us because we don't like change. So today I'm going to be doing an activation to call upon Joan of Arc, who is an ascended master, and she is the voice of truth. She holds the sword of truth that beams a light in your life to give you the courage within to begin to light up, to align to who you truly are and where you're meant to go. So that way, this fear that you've previously experienced of rejection, of persecution, of humiliation, that part of you can begin to untangle and heal, so that the future you can begin to walk forward confidently in making choices that align to your highest self, not the part that's scared and wants to hide under the covers. Joan of Arc says this beautiful thing, and she says that, let me read it here. Let truth be your teacher. Let truth lead the way. And this is what goes with the saying, the truth will always set you free, because you're meant to experience the truth. Truth is happiness. Truth is an alignment to who you truly are. So before we begin discussing manifestation and quantum leaping and quantum jumping and all of these fun things that are like hot topics, I think it's really important that we level set from ground zero and get back into alignment of truly who you truly are. Because as I said from the beginning, God cannot bless who you pretend to be. God will only bless who you truly are. That means we have to stop living somebody else's dream for us. We have to stop trying to conform and pretend our life as if it's somebody else's lane, because we'll never feel fulfilled. It will always feel like a chase. It will always feel comparison. And that's where a lot of this jealousy stands up, because we're trying to compare ourselves to other people's life. Meanwhile, we're supposed to get back into alignment to our own life, because all of the gifts that we have within us is meant to fulfill that purpose that we've charted to do. Not our friend's purpose, it's our purpose. We are meant to do our own purpose. So as I was saying from the beginning, when I was first awakening to a higher purpose in my life and realizing I had my own gifts, I was experiencing this tremendous fear, because I was known in the world as Steph Mahony, and I worked at a financial institution with the stock markets, and I was the girl. I was on top of my game, and I absolutely loved my job. So now that I was being shown I was going to be a spiritual healer and a spiritual teacher and a divine channel, like I didn't even know what that meant. And I was so scared of what the world would think. What would they think of this person who works in this 3D world of finance to all of a sudden becoming this spiritual teacher who is a healer? And I didn't even know exactly what that was at the time. I'm like, a healer, like a doctor? Like, I don't even understand what this is. So I had to awaken into this place of finding that courage to speak my own truth, to find my truth. And I can tell you it did not happen overnight. It took many months of crying, of hiding under the covers, of just denial. I was like, no, maybe they got the wrong girl. Go find somebody else. Go find Gabby Bernstein. She's going to do an amazing job for you. That's what I kept saying. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I'm not the girl, But I kept coming back and over, like, stop what you're saying. We're not asking you to be Gabby. We're asking you to be Stephanie. And that you're perfect, Stephanie, for what you've been chosen to do. So I had to come to this realization that I needed to take off the mask that I was wearing, that I was trying to protect. And I needed to come to the world as my true authentic self. Because at that point, I was only on social media, casually posting pictures of my family, not saying anything significant, just being a follower of the world. And it wasn't really a big deal. And suddenly I'm being asked to flip that coin and hold a position, hold an authority, be a teacher, share my opinions, be seen. And all of that was terrifying for me. I didn't understand how to even do that. So the process that I went through after really hiding under my covers for a while, was taking off my covers and facing reality. I had to face who I truly was and find this acceptance of who I truly was. And then I began entertaining the idea of what that version of me looked like. I didn't understand what my inner truth was, but I turned off all music, podcasts. I needed to come back into myself and really just have this one-on-one with me to even figure out who this new version of me was. And as this inner voice, this quietness led to this inner voice, which began to propel and became louder and louder and louder. And I suddenly had an understanding of this new vision of who I was. And slowly I started actually writing it out. And then I would start to speak it out loud in the world. And then I knew the next step was for me to speak it out publicly. And I wasn't ready for that. So I would record myself just to hear my own voice, to hear my own story. And when I knew I had to go out, the next step was me going on social media and talking about something irrelevant, just so I could hear my own voice. And then I would start small and do something a little bit longer, a little bit bigger. And suddenly I was beginning to find my own voice in this platform of social media. And that's what started to get me into alignment to attracting all of the people that I needed on this next phase of ascension in my life. So I was on this journey of discovering who I truly was. I was on this journey of discovering my inner truth. But you always have to quiet your mind and allow your inner thoughts to become your inner voice, to realize what your inner truth is. And then that inner truth gives you the courage to speak your truth. The moment you can speak your truth, you can begin to live your truth. You begin to be able to take action that feels in alignment. So even though you may have to have a hard conversation or make hard choices, you will always know that it's meant for you because it will give you inner peace. The thing might be hard, but when it's over, you have the sigh of relief. And that sigh of relief is alignment to peace. It's you now pivoting right back to the right direction. You may not be where you want to go yet, and that's okay, but now you're facing the right direction. You're no longer facing the wrong direction. So stepping into alignment is always number one, in order for us to get to this place of truly coming to where we are. Because if we don't know where we're going, we'll never know what to manifest. And this whole idea of manifestation, law of attraction, quantum jumping, it's going to be irrelevant because you don't even know where you're going, because you don't even know who you are. You don't even actually know what's the most important to you. So when we can get back into alignment to that place is when we'll be able to get into alignment of our highest self, our highest life, our highest happiness, our highest peace. This is the place where everything begins. It's seated in authenticity. So let me get this activation for us. Apologize, it just completely flipped pages on me. So what we're going to do is work from Kyle Gray's book. And Kyle Gray's book of Divine Masters Ancient Wisdom. And what we're going to do is the activation. It's a light activation calling on Joan of Arc. So with Ascended Masters, these are human beings who have fulfilled their purpose. And in all cases, they had to go through an extreme situation in their life that they would have to overcome. And that's the beautiful teaching, that they've been able to take all of that darkness and transform it back into light, mastering all of the lessons of the quantum universe. And now their job as ascended masters is to work and help us on the other side of the veil so that one day we can get there too. They all hold the energy of the main lessons that they had to overcome. And for Joan of Arc, it was the fear of prosecution because of her speaking her truth, she was actually burned at the stake. So she ended up ascending into an ascended master. And now her role is to help us get into alignment with our highest truth. But what it's important to know is that even though it may feel scary, it could have been that it's scary from this lifetime or a past lifetime when perhaps it wasn't safe to speak your highest truth. But the world is ascending, the world is awakening, and people are all awakening that there is something greater, that there is a big light that's shining upon all of us. And now is the time for you to awaken, because once you're in alignment to authenticity, you're going to shoot up even faster than you've ever done before. And that's going to be the fastest pathway for you to climb up the ascension ladder. So let's begin this activation. And what we'll do, like last time, is get seated into a place that's comfortable, safe, and I want us to close our eyes. What we're going to do is first say a prayer of intention to overcome these fears by calling in Joan of Arc and her energy with this prayer. Thank you, Joan of Arc, for drawing near and showing me how to overcome the fear of being judged, persecuted, or misunderstood. Thank you for helping me to have greater trust in myself, my inner vision, and the gifts I was born to bring this world. I welcome your guidance and your leadership now, and so it is. We will now do Joan of Arc's Sword of Truth activation. With your eyes closed and palms up, let's begin. Close your eyes and begin to visualize yourself immersed in blue light. Allow the light to create an energetic armor around you. Then say, I invoke the spiritual light of Joan of Arc. Thank you, Joan, for blessing my energy with your presence. I welcome your support, guidance, and encouragement as I step into the most authentic self. Thank you for placing your sword of power before me and for guiding it to my clear path. I am ready to walk the path of light. I am ready to walk the path of truth. I am ready to move beyond all limiting stories, experiences, and fears. I am aligned with the path of light. I am aligned with the highest truth. The greatest gift I can bring the world is my whole self. I bring my whole self to the light. I am led by grace. Thank you, Joan of Arc, for giving me the courage you drew on to win your own personal battles and to share your spiritual connection with the world. I am honored to be led by you, and so it is. So what we'll do right now is channel a message from Joan of Arc through me for you, for your highest good, as you take a step forward in your next level of ascension. Hi. Yes, dear ones. Yes, Stephanie. Thank you, our dear child, for finding your own courage to speak your truth, the highest truth of who you are. The voice of divinity is within us, but it comes through you. So we thank you for opening your own free will so that the outer world can hear the divine connection and have the power to step up towards their next level of ascension. Our dear ones, the path before you is great. It is significant. And although you may see suffering, anguish, disturbing news, a place of suffering in this world, of death, we want to awaken you that on the other side of this darkness is light. There is always light. And no matter where you are in this place, in this world, the light is always going to shine down upon you. And you can access this light to clear your pathway forward. And the first place to do this is in the alignment of your true whole self. Everything that you are is an aspect of divinity. And when it is not embodied in its fullest form, the full self of what the potential of who she or he is begins to wither, and it feels to the body as anxiety, as sorrow, as death, as unhappiness. This is the true form of suffering when you're out of alignment to the life that you had once charted to live. The fastest way to get to this place of alignment is quieting out all of the noise and distraction in your life. When you can evaluate your life from top down, look at the places that are bringing you joy. Keep doing that. Then look at the places that are causing you to suffer, that are causing you to feel anxiety and pain. Look at this, and we want you to take this in your hand, because this is the place of healing that needs to be done. There's a part of you that's playing small. There's a part of you that's holding on to fear or avoidance to face truth. And this is what's keeping you stuck from living a life that you truly want. So in order for us to pivot you into this next step of divine alignment, we are going to take your hand and work with you. All you need to do is call upon me, Joan of Arc. Call upon me in your mind, your voice, your heart, and I will be with you in less than a blink of an eye. The frequency of mine will envelope yours, and I will give you the courage and the comfort to overcome whatever it is that you're facing, so that you have the power through free will to walk through whatever it is that you're going through, that you may finally stand up from the shadows, walk through the fire but not smell like smoke, This is where we are calling you, dear ones. And the moment that you can do this, your whole pathway of destiny is going to line up. It is going to put you into the flow. It is going to set your highest life in alignment, which will allow you to experience the highest form of inner peace and happiness, which is what your soul is genuinely searching for. So it is with this, dear ones, that we thank you for being here with us today. We take upon your blessings that you may now take this into your own world and feel my energy envelope yours to begin to alert you on making higher choices and higher decisions, which will then lead you to your highest truth. And so it is. I thank you, my beautiful friends, for being part of this activation. I know that it's always hard to take off the mask that has been protecting us for so long. But through this Reiki healing, through Palo Santo, I'm going to bring in this energy for you to clear your pathway. And this cleared pathway will then allow you to remove any blockages, any limited mindsets, any perspectives, any fears that are holding you back from living your happiest life. And through the power of divinity, through the power of light, this energy has been unlocked and you are free. So it is. Thank you. I love you. And namaste. If you are looking for your own journey of healing and looking for the pathway of how to step into the next level of your destiny, look at the links below and I welcome you to connect with me for one-on-one healing sessions that can break you free from the cycle of karmic blockages that are keeping you playing small, or to invite you to explore the blueprint to your $1 million life that will put you into divine alignment of your charted destiny. With that, I thank you. I love you. Namaste.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you are ready to heal your deepest wounds and manifest your greatest life, I welcome you to explore the blueprint to your $1 million life, a divinely channeled program that is creating miracles for people all over the world. Visit www.stephmahony.com.